Welcome back, everyone. We're diving into a story today that you might have already heard about, a case that's got it all. A powerful Southern family, some brutal murders, and a whole web of financial crimes that would make your head spin.
Oh yeah, this one's a doozy, the Alex Murdaugh case. It's got more twists and turns than a backwoods road in South Carolina.
That's where this whole thing went down, right?
Yeah.
South Carolina's Low Country, to be exact.
That's right, a place that's usually known for its beauty, Spanish moss and all that. But this case, it really brings out the darkness that can lurk beneath the surface.
And we've got all the files laid out here ready to dig in. The evidence, the court transcripts. We're going deep on this one.
That we are. You ready to get started?
Absolutely. Let's start with the Murdaugh family. They were more than just a family down there, right?
Oh, way more. They were practically royalty. We're talking generations of lawyers holding the top prosecutor job in the Low Country for, a century?
Well, wait. So they were the ones deciding who got charged with crimes?
For decades. Imagine the power that gave them. They were winning cases left and right, shaping the whole legal landscape down there.
So you're saying their law firm, they were basically handling everything.
Yeah.
From personal injury to criminal defense.
Yep, sometimes even representing the same people they were prosecuting in other cases. It was complicated, to say the least.
Okay, so we've got this powerful family with a whole lot of influence. Then, June 7th, 2021, everything changes.
It's a night like any other, seemingly. Alex Murdaugh calls 911, says he found his wife and son, Maggie and Paul, shot dead at their hunting lodge.
That lodge, Moselle, wasn't it? I remember seeing pictures. It's massive.
Oh, yeah, sprawling. So picture this. The scene is chaotic, gruesome. Maggie was shot with an assault rifle multiple times. Paul with a shotgun. It was brutal.
And immediately, I'm guessing, all eyes are on Alex.
Of course. But Alex insists he was nowhere near the lodge when it happened. Said he was visiting his sick mother.
But that's where the cell phone data comes in, right? That's what blew his alibi wide open.
Exactly. They tracked his movements, placed him at the scene right before the estimated time of death. His story starts to crumble.
And then things just get wilder, right? A few months later, there's this whole roadside shooting incident.
Right. The assisted suicide plot, you mean. He tries to make himself look like the victim, claims a stranger shot him.
But come on, it was so obvious it was staged, wasn't it?
Oh, totally. It turns out he hired someone to do it, a former client, actually. Talk about desperation.
So you've got these murders, a botched cover-up, then this whole other scandal drops. The financial crimes, what was he up to?
Oh, man, this is where it gets really messed up. We're talking millions of dollars,
Yeah.
Embezzled from clients.
So he was stealing from the people he was supposed to be representing in court?
Some of them, yeah. People who had won settlements, families of victims. He was taking their money.
It's almost hard to believe the level of betrayal.
That's what everyone was saying. And for a while, it seemed like he was getting away with it. That Murdaugh influence,
It's crazy how power can shield people like that. But eventually, the truth comes out. It always does.
Right. And all this leads to the trial, which, let's be honest, was a media circus.
Everyone was glued to it.
Yeah.
So walk me through it. What was the key evidence that finally brought him down?
Well, like we said, there's that cell phone data placing him at the scene. Then you have gunshot residue found on his clothing, blood spatter evidence that didn't match his story either. And the prosecution did a good job of connecting the murders to those financial crimes, arguing it was all a cover-up.
Right, he was desperate to keep his schemes from coming to light. And of course, there was the testimony of his surviving son, Buster.
Buster taking the stand, man. You could see the turmoil on his face, defending his father, the man accused of killing his own mother and brother.
Yeah, it was heart-wrenching, this whole case. It's just tragedy piled upon tragedy.
No doubt. But in the end, the jury saw through the lies, guilty on both murder charges.
Justice served, right.
Eventually. And, that verdict, it wasn't just about Alex Murdaugh. It exposed the flaws in that whole system down there, a system that let the Murdaughs operate above the law for so long.
The whole thing is just mind-boggling. A family with so much power. How could it all fall apart so spectacularly?
It's a reminder that everyone's got skeletons in their closet, right? Even the most powerful people. And when those secrets start to spill out...
That's when the real drama begins. And this one, it really gripped the whole country.
For sure. I think it speaks to our fascination with power, with corruption, with the dark side of human nature.
It makes you wonder, though, what if the Murdaughs hadn't been so influential? Would this whole thing have played out differently? Would justice have come sooner?
It's a good question, a question that I think we all need to be asking, not just about this case, but about any time we see power concentrated in the hands of a few.
Something to think about, for sure.
Yeah.
Thanks for breaking it all down for us.
Anytime. Until next time.
And thank you all for listening. We'll see you on the next Deep Dive.